Hey everybody, this is Adam and welcome to RAF Reviews. This week, we got a little cool little indie strategy game for you called Great Houses of Calderia. I've got a little bit of a rundown of what the game is, from the press release and such. Great Houses of Calderia. Forge your family legacy throughout the land in Great Houses of Calderia. The feudal grand strategy game from Resistance Games and Firesquid has officially launched its limited founders beta on Steam. So if you're watching the video version, you can see next to me here, I have a little gameplay video that I recorded for myself. So a little bit key features before I get deep into my own thoughts about this game. So, define the traditions of your family over generations and gain unique advantages and weaknesses. Key characters have their own personality shaped by the events they will face, impacting their willingness and ability to serve you right. Hundreds of unique events with important decisions to make tackle a wide range of situations from diplomacy to war to the personal journey of family members. So basically, it is like I said, it's a grand strategy game. A couple years ago, I played Crusader Kings 3 for the first time and was really, really impressed and really liked it. I was like, okay, I like the idea of a strategy game, which I'm a big fan of. It's like, hey, I'm running a family, Game of Thrones style, the household, the barons and all that kind of stuff, and trying to like gain power and, like take over the realm basically. And I really liked Crusader Kings 3. I thought it was really cool. Again, the whole Game of Thrones thing, all that is super, super cool. The political intrigue. Great Houses of Calderia is a very similar game. Like, when I booted it up, I was like, oh yes, I've played Crusader Kings 3, and I know exactly what they're going for. But the number one difference, and I think it's a big deal, is that it is much easier to jump into, a lot less complex. Like, again, Crusader Kings 3, awesome game. It's a lot. At the beginning, it's like, hey, read an encyclopedia on how to play the video game. This game has a lot of complexities, but it feels a lot easier to get into. And I just feel like it's a beginner's version of that, but not in a bad way. It's more approachable. So there are a couple of things I have here to say about it. I really like how the game handles conflict. So, of course, you're running these houses. People go to war. We're expecting that kind of stuff. So they have a really cool battle system where it's basically a grid-based battle system where you put down units on like a little grid and then they'll go at each other and, based on what they are, they'll be better against the other one. How, the rock, paper, scissors kind of a thing works. But this also extends into social issues, which I think is a really cool idea. So I was trying to get one of my characters married into another family, trying to gain more power, more, trying to become better, basically, by improving our standing by marrying into this other family. So then it came down to like, okay, who's getting married into whose family? Because that actually determines who's actually getting the power. And we had a conflict where I had all my advisors of my council showed up, and I put them on the little grid board, and it's like, hey, this one is really good at talking about economics, or in this one, what you basically do in the game where you have, your stats of diplomacy, economics, intrigue, and military are some of the stats that your characters have, and the better they are at them, the better they're at doing stuff in the world. And we did that like a social, military battle to determine who got married into whose family. I will say the first time I did it, I definitely failed and lost the head of my household into another family because I did not do that correctly. I learned from there and never made that mistake again. But it's really cool how they're like, hey, obviously, military conflicts are part of all this politics stuff, but we're going to throw that little added thing of all the social conflicts are also resolved in very similar ways. So that was really cool, and like I've never seen that kind of a thing before. I thought it was really, really neat. The next thing I love about this is that you get to control the entire family. So basically, again, you have your head of your house. You can name them wherever you want, do whatever you want, right? And you're like, okay, I assume most of my time would be playing them, but you actually get to do everybody. So again, you'll have the head, you'll have the 3 sisters and 4 brothers that they have, and there's kids and the parents and everything like that. And you get to play as every individual person. They all have their own stats, their own personalities. They all play differently, and they're all helping you to improve your household. Like, you'll have someone who's really good at intrigue, and like, hey, you're going to be the family spy. You're going to go out and get stuff done, take down other households from the inside, that kind of a thing. John over here is really, really good in the city, like improving our infrastructure. I'm going to put him working with the crops, which is, like your city, basically you need it to produce resources, which, help you out throughout the game. And I'm like, all right, we're going to put John in there because their production increases and they really like him. And like, that's what his job's going to be, is to make sure our city runs well. So getting just to control everybody, when the kids come in, you get to control the kids, and, it's a family affair, and you get to, be ahead of everybody. And I think that's really cool compared to just, well, I'm the one guy at the top and that's all we're going to do. So I thought that was really cool. And you can have someone be like a trade. Like, I'm like the person who goes around and trades. I'm the one who does the visits, because that's a big thing, is getting relationships and being friends with your neighboring barons and counts and such. So be like, hey, I'm the most likable person. I'm going to send you out, make allies with us. And then, probably want someone to maybe lead your armies. The person with the best military stat, let them control when things go down, make sure everything's taken care of. So it was really, really cool. I really liked it. I thought it was really neat. I'm only a few hours in, but I can tell, based on what I'd played before and based on this, that like I'm gonna get lost in this. I'm gonna spend hours on hours making sure my family's perfect. We're doing the right things at all times. We're gonna screw up all the time, but I want to make sure that like by the end of this game, we're the top family. Like, we're running all of Calderia. That's the goal. And I'm definitely gonna come back and continue to play it. I just wanted to be able to get this review out so people need to know about this game, because it is super, super cool. Game again is called Great Houses of Calderia. It is in early access on Steam. And like I said, if you play Crusader Kings, if the political intrigue of Game of Thrones has ever been your thing, if you like big, grand strategy games, I think it's a go. It's awesome. It's great. Very easy to get into, and I think it's absolutely wonderful. So, again, this has been a RAF review. Thank you guys for joining me, and have a good day.